Giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RACHAKWADASH, the born to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and the sincere shalom to the alchemists out there pushing the sincerity and the truth in this sound doctrine. Uh, this is a post or a little short put up by GMS, ripped from the headlines as you see here, and they titled it, "What what part of the gospel is this?" Right, and that's a very that's a very good question. What part of the gospel is this? You know. So that was the first clip, and this is the other one. And you see here the way they titled it. It says real. It says real militant in here. We train warriors. Kwam Yasharala. You know, and again, like the brother said, what exactly, right? What exactly is what part of the gospel is this, right? And the main question that was a really good one here. The bottom one, GMS Maccabean spirit. What about edification? You see all of this, and there's a really good scripture too. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahawah is to the pulling down of strongholds. It says Esau gonna have a field day with these simpletons, man. And yes, they absolutely are. They absolutely are. You know, it's good that you're the only good thing I see out of all of this, that is good that you're training up your body. You know, it's something I need to do a little more myself. You're training your body, you're working out, you learning to shoot, yeah, these are things that, could help you. And I say could help you, you know. But at the end of the day, man, if the Lord wants something to happen to you, then that's just what it is. Again, it's not completely against you training up your the whole mace thing is whatever. But again, like training up your body or whatever, fine. Your exercise. But I don't need to infuse that with serving the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I don't infuse that with serving the Lord. That's something I do on my own time, right? You calling this the Lord's work? But remember, this is real. What do they call themselves? Real nigga university. You know, we really are a spectacle. You know what I'm saying? We as Israelites, we really are a spectacle. But you're marching and you're training and everything that you're doing, it's not going to help you in that day, man. Right? Honestly, a lot of y'all don't even know what you're training for, because some of you don't even believe in Jacob's trouble, right? And it's just like, what are you training for? You're standing out there and you're reading the Bible. That's all you're out there doing, right? But that's okay, man. You're gonna end up, let's just say again, Esau gonna have a field day with y'all, man. Right? All this marching and all this hoorah shit. What's it gonna? You're gonna be like the IUIC, man. They got ran away in Kenya, right? And they be doing all that marching too. You know, again, this stuff is not going to help you. Okay, it's not going to help you. It's just a thing that looks good to the people. And honestly, it makes me cringe, because it's just like I'm seeing a bunch of grown ass men. You know what I'm saying? Marching around a big building, in fringes and garments and stuff like this. And it's just like, do you know what time we're in? You know, are we lost on, do we have like a time difference, right? You think it's kind of crazy, man. You really think if the U.S. military was rolling down the street and they see a bunch of black Negroes marching down the street, do you think they're gonna do? What do you think their reaction is going to be? You really think they're going to look at you as their equal? You're not. You're still a nigga, man. You're still a slave. And the Lord put you here as a slave. But you're not acting as so. Again, what about the edification? Are you warning people about what's to come? because a lot of you other Israelite camps do not do that. You may mention it here and there, but the rest of it is little gimmicks like this, marching around a building, marching around just marching in this hoorah and all this, you know, spraying mace and trying to like an endurance test or whatever. I mean, how is all of that gonna help me later on, right? So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 33 verse 6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. It said wisdom and knowledge, man. Anybody can do this. I mean, we see people in the world do. You know how they be having these little annual marches and stuff like that. Hell, the women's march be doing stuff like this, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not really proving anything here. Real militant. You're not really proving anything there. Again, it's good. I mean, and Esau is still upset that they have a bunch of Negroes able to get together. Yeah, Esau's still upset about it, but really there is no gray area in this, man. I mean, no matter how much you try to sit up there and say, well, at least this and at least that and at least this and at least that, there's no gray area in it. If it's not of the Lord, it's nothing. It's of the world still. Esau gets mad at celebrities when they start messing up, and you know what? They snap right back in order, right? So one thing that's the main group that's making Esau mad is Great Millstone. Number one, because we don't go on a skin color, and number two, we are strictly on prophecy. And we attack every single doctrine. We are not sold out. We do not do it for the money, like a lot of other Israelite camps do. We do not change doctrine. We are not Hebrew Christians. Okay? That's just what it is. We are raw. We are straight to the point. So this is and we don't deal with these gimmicks. Esau is going to really start targeting Great Millstone through the other Israelite camps as well, because this stuff that's happening with Al-Azhar. Do you know the ISUPK had blamed GMS for it? No idea why. No idea why. But again, because they are sold out. So this whole militant, we train warriors this and we train warriors that, if that's what you want to call yourself, fine. If you want to go around and you want to take camp corners and stuff like that, yeah, because ISUPK is known for that too. You know what I'm saying? Going around taking corners and stuff like that. Okay. I mean, you sucking Esau off anyway. I mean, so you might as well just have it. But in the latter days, when hell breaks loose, see what y'all doing right now. Again, just the internet. Everybody's. I guess it looks good to the people. It looks appealing. IUIC is doing the same thing, which explains why IUIC and IGPK don't like each other. They do the same thing. They're like rival fast food chain companies, man. The Popeyes comes out with the chicken sandwich, KFC comes out with that little donut chicken sandwich thing. That's all we got going on here. Just rival fast food chain Israelites. That's all. Right? I mean, that's the best way I can literally describe it right now. Okay. Let's see here. Acts chapter 5 verse 38. It says, and now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. Meaning, it's nothing's going to come out of it. IUIC, Nathaniel, he's going on a land blitz or whatever. ISUPK, they're constantly on this whole hoorah marching gimmick thing, because that's all it really is a gimmick. And vocab knows to target people, target camps like this, and everybody else like the free radical Christians pretty much that like going on the internet, going around messing with Hebrew Israelites. ISUPK is one of the ones they like going to, man, because they know that they're really easy to cut, right? Sakari is really easy to cut. IUIC is really easy to cut. They're all easy to cut. The low level Christian cuts them, man. No, they don't want to admit it. Obviously, who want to admit anything like that? But the low level Christian cuts them. Why? Because they are full of gimmicks. They provide zero edification, man. Okay, they provide zero edification and barely any warning. They have concerts for Passovers, right? It's absolutely ridiculous, man. They're constantly changing doctrine to where it fits society, and it's just like, are we or are we not supposed to be of this world? And you're being of this world, but again, because a lot of you have sold out, that money will change you, man. Okay, that money is something. So this is the work of men. This is not the work of the Lord. Because again, what part of the gospel is this? If we were to come to you and ask you, well, what part of the gospel is this, right? What about the warnings? What about the ISBK? They have a problem with the Revelation 13, the mark of the beast. What about that? You see what I'm saying? This is why when we had a guy come up not too long ago who looks like he he would fit in ISBK. No doubt about it. Short, burly. You know what I'm saying? Grimy looking, right? Which he was cool in the beginning. But he came up to us asking about all these different camps, what we think about these different camps. And that's all he kept asking about was all the different camps. It's all entertainment, right? But then when we got into a little bit of prophecy, he choked. As you all do. As you all do. Y'all going to see, man, that as time goes on, all these gimmicks, all these marches, all of these concerts for Passovers, you know, you got Israelites sitting up on flea market thrones, right? You're gonna really start seeing, you know. And if you don't see it, then that's just up to you. But we're really up to the Lord. But your people are really gonna start seeing that these gimmicks are not gonna help them. It's when hell breaks loose, as hell starts breaking loose, right? And times get harder, you're going to realize that this is not helping. This isn't helping. What are we going to do? Right? What are we going to do? You're not a military, bro. You're not. Again, if the US military came and raided that building right now, there would be nothing that y'all could do, man. There will be nothing that you could do. Because you're not a military. Because the Lord didn't put us here to be in have armies right now. He put us here to be servants. And y'all run around here chanting, serve YAHAWASHI, this, that. You're not serving the Lord. Serving the Lord is serving out your punishment. And you're not doing that. You know? So, I tell you what, man. Psalm chapter 33, verse 16. This is a really good one. I actually just came across this one and I saved it. It says, there is no king saved by the multitude of an host. Yeah, Nate with all these numbers and stuff like that. Nate pretty much has set himself up to be a king. And it said, there is no king saved by the multitude of an host. Have you noticed that the Lord always dealt with a small amount? He always dealt with a small amount. Right? When you read the book of was that Joshua? Or was it Judges? I believe it was Joshua. And they were going up against 30 kings, really 31, but the 31st one wasn't listed. And yeah, it was definitely Joshua. And how many Israelites were there? what, a couple thousand versus 30 armies. So the Lord has always dealt with a small number. Okay? There is no king saved by the multitude of an host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. I'm going to repeat that. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. This strength that you ISUPK rats claim to have, right? All this marching and all this hoorah stuff. Your strength ain't gonna mean a thing, man. Right? It's not. See, right now, everybody's playing tiddlywinks, as our old camp leader used to say. Everybody right now, including you Israelite camps, are playing tiddlywinks with all these damn gimmicks, these games, these hustles, right? I guess he calls himself Priest Hakah now. I think that's what he calls himself. All these different titles, but anyway, I think that's what he calls himself, Priest Hakah. He's constantly trying to shell out money to get a debate. That means if somebody wants to pay you, it could be a penny. I don't care. If somebody wants to pay you for a debate, it's not about the debate. It's about a paycheck. It's about some ulterior motive, right? Alternate motive, pretty much, behind the reasoning of them wanting to pay you for a debate. There should be no. That's not a debate at that point. That's just a money grab. Okay? I want to pay you $1,000 for a debate. You know what I'm saying? Like, the average person gets that in a month. First of all, if you got a good enough job, that is, but in about a month, right? The average person gets over $1,000. You know, he's just shelling out. You know, he just gets called himself trying to shell out. He tried to do that with GMS, and it's like, what the hell is? Because it's all part of these gimmicks, right? It says So it says a mighty man is not delivered by much strength. All this strength you claim to have, all this yelling and all this hoorahing and all this marching and all this spraying with mace and these endurance tests and stuff like that. Oh yeah, real nigga university. Real nigga university. You know, you're just giving Esau reasons to talk about us, man. But again, this is why I'm talking about us as a nation. I ain't talking about us as Hebrew Israelites. Us as Hebrew Israelites, we are completely separate from these other Israelite groups, man. Completely separate. Great Millstone is its own thing. That's why we tell you people, drop that One West stuff, man. Because if we keep calling ourselves One West, that's what's on ISUPK's page. It's still this One West thing, man. It's saying on there, One West, right? If we call ourselves One West, that means we're one with ISUPK, and we're not with them, man. Right? Anyway, let's keep going. And horse is a vain thing for safety. Right? You gallop on a horse to try to get away from sin. It's a vain thing. That ain't going to save you. It says, neither shall he deliver any by his great strength. Right? Because horses are strong. But and they can, you know, you ride on a horse, right? And it can, you know, run away and take you to safety. But he say this is a vain thing for safety. See, if you let's say you in some trouble and you gotta jump on a horse and shit and run, that's the Lord guiding you. You didn't really rely on a horse. The horse is part of it, yeah, but you didn't really rely on the horse. You relied on the Lord to get you out of there. Right? So it said that's a vain thing for safety. So just like this money. You people relying on the money. That money is a defense, man. That's all. Really, it's not even a defense. That's just the Lord is your defense. Right? This get ready to be done away with. Verse 18, it says, behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy. That's what we're looking for. Right? That's what we're looking for. We don't care about the marches. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to get us anywhere. What do you what are you trying to prove? What are you demonstrating? The strength of Israel, strength that Israel doesn't even have right now. Again, what it, you're not a military because the Lord didn't put us here to be a military right now. He didn't put us here to have our own armies. Do you know who you are? Do you know who is over you? Again, if two cops, I'm being nice by saying two, but if two cops ran up, decided to run up in that building with all you niggas up in there, man, all of y'all going to scatter. Are you warriors at that point then? The ISUPK try to stand up in Kenya, right? Calling themselves warriors. You see, everybody wants to be a warrior till it's actually time to be a warrior. Right now, it's not that time. Right now, it's time to be a servant. Unfortunately, under Esau, because of the Lord. Unfortunately. Jake makes this so much more difficult than what it has to be because it's all about the money and Esau funds him. Right? It's so much more difficult. You guys make it way more difficult than what it has to be, than what it actually is. Right? You're not a military. Okay? You could call us warriors. Okay. We're warriors for the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? And to be in order to be a good soldier for the Lord, you know what you do? You sit back and you serve out your punishment, man. Well, I say sit back and serve out your punishment. I mean, really, yeah. You serve out your punishment, man. Stop trying to fight against the Lord because it's not working. It's not going to work. Right? You become a soldier for the Lord by doing what? Ephesians chapter 6. You read that. That's how you become a warrior for the Lord, man. Everything else doesn't matter. We're gonna get into that. Okay, you gotta bear with me for rambling too much, man. But this is one of the videos where it's all just gonna come out. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, This is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies. You see that? You guys over here calling yourself an army. You're not the Lord's army. IUIC called, some people called them when he was marching around for Irving, right? They call it Kyrie Irving's army. Where's Irving at now? Where's IUIC at right now? Which they're siding with Islam anyway, right? They trying to coincide with Islam anyway, right? Again, because they are sold out. Esau is funding them, right? So they said not by might nor by power, but it says but my spirit. IUIC is a carnal camp. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, IUIC too, but ICBK is a carnal camp. They are very, very carnal. This is why you see them doing the things they're doing. This is why you see them calling themselves the real nigga university. Why are you calling yourself ICBK at this point if you're the real nigga university? Right? Change your initials, change your title, right? Change your name, right? But yeah. Let's get one more, right? And this is going to go into the point I literally just mentioned. I'm going to go into the Valley of Dry Bones a little bit because this is exactly ISUPK in this video. This is the Valley of Dry Bones, okay? And what they're trying to do is they're trying to build something up that's not according to the Lord, which means it's not going to work. So they're trying to build something up that's ultimately going to fall anyway. Okay. Ezekiel, and I'm gonna just read this little bit from 4 through 8. So I'm gonna just read 4 verses. Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 4 says, "Again, he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, which are who? Israelites. It says, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God, Yahawah, unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, all right, and ye shall live." Now this breath is the word of the Lord, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Okay, it's verse 6. It says, and I will lay sinews upon Salaki, and I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you and cover you with skin. All right. It says, and put breath in you. Right. So giving you life, because the word of the Lord is life. It says, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. So this is what Ezekiel, this is. So I prophesied as I was commanded. And as I prophesied, there was a noise. Behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. Right. So it's like, whoa, what's going on here? Right. So you can, it's a picture that, okay, yeah, it's almost like they starting to get it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like what we do out of camp. Yeah, because when people come up, they're dry bone. But let's say they decide to get it or not, right? Whatever is the case, or let's say they kind of get it, and it's just like, okay, well, they kind of get it. That's kind of what this is representing. Like, it's starting to, like, you know what I'm saying? It's starting to come to them a little bit. Verse 8, it says, and this is the last one I'm going to read. It says, and when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, right? And the skin covered them above. But it says, but there was no breath in them. So it's almost like they had a little bit of an understanding. So it's, look at I don't want to be graphic, but you look at a corpse, right? And it's almost like when you look at like one of these sci-fi movies, and it's like a reverse, coming together. Like, it's start off as like dry bone, and you see the skin coming on, and start growing and stuff like that, kind of like Terminator or whatever. Skin start coming on. But it's not exactly back to life, right? It's almost like it's just like a dead body. It's just still. It's not exactly It's not exactly dry bones, like decayed bones. But and it's skin, and it's the hair and everything is back, but it's still dead, right? So it's almost like, yeah, man, what's up with this? So IUI is still part of the dry bone family. While they may, while they there's really no gray area. This is a good example of that. While it says the skin and stuff like that is, you know, it's coming upon them, but it says there is no breath, meaning they don't have the word of the Lord. So it's like they have a zeal, as we like saying, but they don't have the word of the Lord. They don't, right? They're another one that like changing up doctrine, right? So ISBK is still full of the valley of dry bones. What you saw in this video when I played in the beginning. Just imagine a bunch of dry bones walking around, right? Or just a bunch of wasteless bodies walking around, man. I'm just like a wasted bodies, wasted flesh, walking around, marching around the whole building. Just picture that. It sounds a little sick. It sounds a little sickly, and it sounds a little sickening. But that's just the comparison. Okay. So they don't have the breath. They don't have the word of the Lord. That's what that's talking about. They don't have the word of the Lord. It's not very much to say. There's not very much more to say. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Shalom.